Let's go to move on to Cam. Here we go. What's going on, Cam? Do you support Trump? Cam is also not here. Nobody's here, man.
I'm here.
Hi, Cam.
Hello.
Cam, I think that you're a child, so I'm going to disconnect you. Hey, Mike, do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Why is that?
I mostly am against everything the left has done since around 2016. That's mainly why I voted for the Republican candidate. So I remember when you guys were, not that I 100% supported these things, but I remember the free college, legalizing marijuana. It's okay to get married if you're gay. Those types of issues, I feel like the left focused on men. Now I feel it's just a bunch of weird anti-white rhetoric, and the trans issue, which I think is probably one of the weirdest issues and one of the weirdest hills that the left would be dying on. But I think the left is just taking a shift. The Democratic Party's taken a shift away from talking about free healthcare, free college to, white people owe this world something, and there's 52 genders, and giving puberty blockers to children's a good idea. But I've talked enough. You go ahead. What would you like to add to that?
Okay, well, first, I'm really interested in everything you just said, and I'd love to respond to it. But you said something about being anti-white.
Very.
Okay,
That's
can you describe the anti-white agenda of the left to me?
Yeah, so DEI is a program that basically just aims to hire less white people, particularly white men. That's people's jobs, that's people's work. I've talked to people on the left who try to flat out deny that that's the goal of DEI, but I've had other people on the left.
So do you think that like DEI is now like heavily ingrained in our country, like specifically large companies?
They would like it to be. It's being pushed back because it's openly discriminatory.
No, I'm just curious. If DEI is like just kind of like pushing white men out of these very powerful positions, like why do we see that a disproportionate amount of like all Fortune 500 CEOs, institutional leaders, and even American presidents are all white men?
Excellent question. So first off, it actually is meant to target really powerful white guys. It only targets men in like middle class or looking for entry level jobs, which is the sad part. But if you look at the statistics of who is earning the least likely to be unemployed, the most likely to have an advanced college degree, to earn the most money, those are all number one, Asian American man, number two, Asian American woman, and then number three, white man, and then number four, white woman. So white men are not the top earners in this country. They're not the most likely to get a college degree. They're not the most likely to own a home or own a business. Asian man, number one, Asian woman, number two, actually are taking those titles in the United States. And even if that wasn't true,
wait, I'm so sorry. Can you repeat what you just said?
Yes, sir. Which part?
Well, I'm sorry. So you're saying that like white men are not the top income earners in America?
No, Asian American man number one.
Okay.
Asian American woman is number two.
So the reason why I find this to be quite misleading is because when we look at like net worth, what we see is that the demographic in which would hold the largest net worth in our country would be white men. Now, I'd also like to point out here.
You mean because we're the majority population? That doesn't mean we owe this world something because the majority of people in this country are whiit.
So
that doesn't mean we owe this world something.
So this isn't like a majority statistic. This is going to be per capita. But I'd also like to point out.
So was the other one I gave.
If you'd allow me to finish.
Yeah, go ahead. I don't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
So I don't know. When we look at this view of what party is more focused on accelerating individuals because of their abilities, because of their accomplishments, because of their merit, compared to the party that wants to like hold other individuals down regardless of their abilities, accomplishments, or merit, I actually see that the left is more focused on platforming individuals with accomplishments, aptitudes, and merit compared to the right. And the reason that I'd say that is because like all DI is it's a tool to enable individuals that do have merit that are accomplished and are very well at performing within like different careers in our country to have the same opportunity to do so as others that they may have less opportunity than in America today. Like for instance, I'd say like a pragmatic application of DEI, like say in the workforce, is just ensuring that you're not going to have your job application rejected because you're a woman, because you're trans, because you're black. Okay. Right. And it's
There's
just
no proof that's happening.
anti-discriminatory. It actually
There's no
is.
proof any of that's happening.
What,
It's
what
not
is it?
happening,
What
Dean.
is it about? What are the stats about trans individuals? I think that trans individuals are like 60 times less likely to get accepted for a job given the same merit and same merit, same degree, same background as like their cis gendered counterpart. And then it's also like being accepted or rejected for a bank loan, etc. And then also, I mean, if we just look at like the two cabinets, I'd say that Donald Trump probably has one of the most underqualified presidential cabinets we've ever seen. You know, it's like apparently Biden and Harris were all about DEI. Well, I mean, holy shit, dude. They definitely didn't put a Fox News anchor to be to be the Secretary of Defense in this country that had never served in a single leadership position in the American military. I mean, that's just
Dean,
brutal.
I will.
Also, do you think
I'm
that
going to
Kamala
give
Harris
that
was a
administration
DEI
time.
candidate?
Absolutely, 100%. And I'll just finish with Trump's cabinet, and then I'll explain how I 100% believe that about Kamala Harris. I'm going to give his cabinet time. It's only been a few months. There's been things about the Trump administration I'm not crazy about. Like they said they were going to release the Epstein files. That was kind of weird what they did there. I mean, I could be critical on my side as well. I am going to give him time. I'm going to give him a chance. I mean, obviously nobody's like seeing what's going on with the stock market, but I'm willing to give him a chance. I'm not just going to jump down his throat and start hammering for not getting results as soon as possible. Kamala Harris was polling, and by the way, I mean, she's a qualified woman. She was a senator, attorney, district attorney. I'm not saying she wasn't qualified, but she was polling dead last in the primaries when she ran with Biden. And I'm pretty confident when he said something like, I'm going to choose a black woman as my vice president, and then he chooses Kamala Harris. It was a race-based decision he made.
Okay.
And, she's not, listen, she's not a bad woman. She wasn't like a dumb woman. I know she had like a weird laugh and shit, but she wasn't a horrible person. As the media will make her out to be. Anybody in politics, they make you look horrible. I worked in politics for years. That's what they do. They make you look like shit no matter who.
Do you mind if I finish real quick?
Go ahead, Dean. Yep, go ahead.
So first and foremost, the only statement that Biden has made about like the candidate he'd be picking, saying that he's going to pick a woman, was at the DNC prior to his nomination back in 2020. And I think that was like an incredibly smart decision. I think that like more representation of women inside a leadership position, specifically in our government, isn't only a good thing because representation is good, but it's also a good thing because at the end of the day, a woman is going to be able to better understand the struggles of women compared to a man. I mean, that's just like saying that an average...
But you did just admit that he chose her based on that.
Mike, I let you speak forever.
Yeah, you're right. Go ahead. I appreciate it. Go ahead.
A woman is going to be able to better understand the issues of other women compared to a man ever would be. I mean, I feel like that's pretty obvious. That's like saying that a billionaire is going to be able to better understand like the issues of what it's like to live as a low-income American compared to another low-income American. So like the idea of like Biden running with a woman as his vice president isn't just a good idea for more representation in the government as kind of like a simplistic idea, but also it's very pragmatic and it'd be able to better serve to the constituents of this country to produce the most effective outcomes possible. But I think my thing here is if you're saying that Kamala Harris was picked because of her race or her gender, not because of her qualifications, what the fuck does this tell us about Donald Trump?
I think you just said that.
No, I did not.
I think you just said that.
No, I did not. This is a false assumption.
You just went into all the reasons why picking her as a woman was
no. Are you saying that all women are underqualified?
All what?
Yeah, you just said that Donald that Biden did not pick somebody with qualifications outside of their gender or race, and you're saying that is what I just said. No, I said that he was just picking a woman. So you're saying that all women are underqualified? I'm so sorry. You could be a woman and qualified, sir. But anyways, to get back to what I just said, okay, so if Kamala Harris was not picked because of her background, because of her accomplishments, and purely because of her race or gender, then explain to me why she was significantly more qualified than Donald Trump. What the fuck does this tell us about him? If she had no qualifications to legitimately serve in that role, in the role as the president of America, apart from her gender and race, wow, then Donald Trump just must have been the worst candidate ever, regardless of the lens in which we'd evaluate this issue with. Kamala Harris was more qualified than Donald Trump, and that was obvious. Rather, we want to evaluate this issue.
She's never worked in business. She's never had a job outside of politics, and also she had no plan to bring manufacturing jobs back to. What's that?
You're interrupting me?
No, I thought it was my turn to talk. I mean, you want to keep going, dude. But she did not have a plan to bring jobs back to America, manufacturing jobs. Go ahead. If you weren't done, go ahead.
Okay, well, I mean, I'll just dispute that last part. Unironically, she did. So the plan of the Biden-Harris administration was, instead of like tariffing every other country on Earth, which produces negative economic outcomes for us and the rest of the planet, their idea was, if we could subsidize industries and give them money to invest into their productive capacities, we'll dominate more of like the global manufacturing, the global push for more manufacturing. And I mean, this is a good idea because A, it naturally prices American-made goods back into the market compared to forcing them to be priced back into the market via the implementation of tariffs. And B, because, well, it worked. I mean, under the Biden-Harris administration, we saw a very sharp increase in investment in manufacturing in America. Now, after the beginning of Donald Trump's second term, it's gone stagnant once more. And I'd also like to clarify that Donald Trump has also given no plan for bringing back American manufacturing. In fact, he is bad for American manufacturing.
I disagree with that completely. That's exactly what he's trying to do right now.
Do you think that he's using the tariffs he's imposing on other countries as a tool?
No, do you mind going back to DEI, what I was originally talking about?
You're the one that pivoted to manufacturing, sir. I want to be able to finish this out.
No, you pivoted to Kamala. That's what I didn't want to talk about Trump and Kamala.
Wait, you didn't want to talk about Donald Trump and Kamala Harris?
No.
Okay, well, we are unironically here to talk about why you support Donald Trump.
I just said I'm against everything you guys do and have been doing for the past 10 years.
Oh, great. Got it. So you're against the PACT Act, the 800. So I just want to clarify, you're against everything that Democrats have done.
Trans issues,
so Mike,
which is a loser. And
if you're against everything that Democrats have done in the last 10 years, you just hated the PACT Act. That was an $800 million investment into the expansion of VA healthcare benefits. That was terrible. If you're against everything that the Democrats have done in the last 10 years, you were against the Chips and Science Act, making America go from producing 1% of the the chip supply to 30. You were against the infrastructure bill, a $500 billion investment into and you're interrupting me, and now I lost it. Mike, what the fuck are we doing?
And you and I are just having. Listen, man, I'm not upset. If you're not upset, I'm not trying to interrupt you. I'm just.
So then stop interrupting me.
No, well, you're interrupting me as well, and you're not letting me talk.
So once again, you made the claim that you were against everything that the Democrats have done in the last 10 years. So just to clarify,
I don't like anything.
Every single policy passed by the Biden-Harris administration was bad, correct?
And I don't know why Kamala didn't do that manufacturing stuff you told me about when she was in office.
Mike.
I don't know why we had to elect her.
Mike,
she was vice president. How much more of a position of power do you need?
Mike, they did. They passed the Chips and Science Act and the infrastructure bill under the Biden-Harris administration, investing into American manufacturing, which increased domestic production. Okay, investment into American manufacturing. But I want to clarify. You said that you were against everything that Democrats have done in the last 10 years. So you were against every single piece of legislation influenced to get passed through Congress by the Biden-Harris administration. True?
The majority of the look, I didn't even look at all that stuff. If you guys are giving puberty blockers to children and calling it moral, you don't belong running hot dog stands.
Holy fucking pivot. Wow, I need a neck brace after that.
It's not a pivot.
And now you're going to interrupt me while I'm responding to the pivot? You're fucking crazy. You're so crazy.
I'm not crazy, buddy.
You're so fucking crazy. Yes, you are, bro. It's because I'm trying to make a point, and then you're like, but trans children... And then I'm like, holy pivot. And then you interrupt me. And then you just continue to go down that. Oh my God. Listen. First and foremost, Mike, I'll have this be very known. Okay? Kamala Harris ran on no policy for trans individuals, including trans youth. So whenever you come to me with an idea that, oh, she was going to make it so 8-year-olds could chop off their penises. It is just all Republican propaganda. In fact, I wish that Kamala Harris's campaign was more inclusive of trans Americans, and it is the case that it was not inclusive enough because she didn't talk about trans Americans at all. But a huge fucking pivot. The reason why I think that's a pivot, the reason why that is a pivot is because I was asking you if you disagree with every single piece of policy passed by the Biden-Harris administration in the last 4 years, because you said everything the Democrats have done in the last 10 years was bad. Okay. Well, if every single thing that the Democrats have done in the last 10 years is bad, that means a pact act.
On this woke crap and this weird trans agenda and giving billions of dollars to Ukraine.
This weird trans. Wait. How many trans athletes compete in the NCAA?
They've taken around 900 medals.
How many trans athletes compete in the NCAA?
Plenty. Enough. None should be.
Did you know that Donald Trump has been accused of rape by more women than there is trans athletes in the NCAA?
Transitioning to men don't compete with men.
Hey, Mike, did you know that more women have accused Donald Trump of rape than there is trans athletes competing in the NCAA?
That doesn't matter. There's other sports they're taking scholarships.
Right. That doesn't matter. Of course, that doesn't fucking matter. Yes, because you use 0.01% of the American population as the scapegoat. Did you know that in the last election, that the third largest thing that MAGA and Republican PAC spent money on was messaging against trans Americans? When they only account for 0.01% of the American population, it is fucking disgusting. It is so gross. And then for you to say, oh, well, yeah, Donald Trump being a rapist, that doesn't matter. But you know what? Trans people living their lives, fuck them all. In fact, I want to go ahead and ask you a question about that real quick. Do you think that trans women should be able to use a women's restroom?
Biden was accused of rape too.
Oh, who? By Tara Reid?
Women accused him? What, you don't believe all women, Dean?
Well, I don't believe Tara Reid, and I'll tell you why. But I want to clarify. Do you believe Tara Reid?
How about that?
Do you believe Tara Reid?
A woman accused him of rape. You just said something like Donald Trump.
Do you believe Tara Reid?
She's not the only one.
Okay, who else?
I love you denying a woman's rape story, Dean.
So, Mike, yes or no? Do you believe Tara Reid?
I never looked into her story, but a woman accused him of rape, and now you're telling. Now you're going to go on air and say
I just want to get this clear. Yes, I want to get this clear. Was it a yes, a no, or an unsure?
If it were a Republican, you wouldn't even. You would be all over.
Hey, Mike, just real quick. Can I please get a yes,
trying to play
a no?
Questions.
Hey, Mike, can I please get a yes, a no, or an unsure?
You only care about the rape accusations against Trump.
I'll get the yap out of here. Tara Reid accused Biden of rape. Do you believe her? Yes, no, or unsure?
I just answered you.
No, you didn't.
And you only care because now I'm saying it's against a Democrat. If it were against a Republican, you wouldn't care about Tara Reid's story. You'd automatically believe it.
Okay. So that's not true. The reason that's not true is because Tara Reid's lawyer dropped her as a client because she had contradicted herself multiple times in court. And then she fled the fucking country. And then she went to Russia and she joined a right-leaning misinformation campaign. And I don't care if a woman is raped by a Republican or a Democrat. Like, all instances of rape matter. Every single one needs to be properly addressed, needs to be evaluated, and there needs to be accountability and punishment. That is the only way that we do not prevent more harm to more women from continuing to be perpetuated on this earth.
Are we going to go back to DEI? Can you ask?
But I want you to answer my question. Do you believe Tara Reid?
If I answer that question, will you go back to DEI?
I'm going to finish making my argument, you fucking stupid idiot. Maybe I have an argument to make too, man, but maybe the only reason you don't know that is because you are literally unable to engage in a debate with me.
Once you start throwing insults, you've lost. I've not insulted you once, Dean, and believe me, I don't like you. And I've not insulted you once. I've been nothing but respectful to you. I may talk over every once in a while.
If you were nothing but respectful to me, you would have answered my question the first time I asked it 5 minutes ago. You have still not answered the question. Do you believe, do not believe, or are you unsure about Tara Reid?
You're denying her rape accusation because it's against a Democrat. You would do
No, I'm denying her rape accusation because she contradicted herself 3 times in court. Her lawyer dropped her as a client. She fled the country, moved to Russia, and joined a Republican misinformation campaign. Mike?
rape is sexy. She said that on CNN. Do you believe her?
Mike, I have no clue what you just said.
Once
again, my question is
because it's an accuser against Trump, so you don't even know. She went on CNN and said rape is sexy.
How much do
Go to YouTube and type it in.
How much do you want to bet?
That the woman that accused Trump of rape
Let's bet money.
Went on CNN and said people think rape is sexy.
Oh, there you go, Mike. There you go, Mike. You just changed the claim. You went from saying she thinks rape is sexy to saying that other people think rape is sexy. As soon as I brought up the idea that you want to, as soon as I brought up the idea that you want to bet money, hey, I'm willing to talk to you about that. But before we do, I'm not going to let you pivot away from the question. My question to you is, once again, do you believe Tara Reid?
Why do you care so much?
Oh my God, it's a fucking debate.
Do you believe your friend Harry?
Do you believe Tara Reid?
Do you believe Harry?
What the fuck? Harry is not relevant in this conversation in the slightest. Mike, I am going to give you one last opportunity to answer the question before I simply don't crash out and I kick you from the server. I mean, it's super simple, Mike. Act your age. It is crazy that I, a 20-year-old, am more responsible and more mature and more intelligent than you, a likely 70-year-old man. So
you're embarrassing yourself.
No, I'm embarrassing you.
Don't tell people you're smarter than that. That's so pretentious. That's so, and you're paid by the DNC to be a mouthpiece for them. I'm not paid. This is coming from my soul.
Hey, Mike.
I think that the party you support is insane. They give puberty blockers to children.
Hey, Mikey, I put you on mute. Nobody could hear you. Just wondering if you have any evidence that I paid for by the DNC. Josh, thank you for the $20 on Venmo saying keep on keeping on. I appreciate you for the love, Josh. Thank you so much.
I can tell you are.
And then
any
Autumn,
white
thank you so
guy
much for the $10
supporting a
over on
political
PayPal.
ideology that hates him is a coward.
Okay, well,
the left hates you. The left hates white people. You support them. That's spineless.
If the left,
you should be a man and stand up to them.
If the left hates white men so much, how come I got a private invite to a Christmas party at the White House? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Like, get the fuck out of here. Come on, you're crashing out. Dude, it is so funny because, like, that is, like, the biggest counter argument against what this guy is saying, all right? They'll try to convince you that the left hates white guys, so white guys are pushed towards the right. No, that's not true at all. The left just wants equality for everybody, not just white guys. And from a position of privilege, equality seems like oppression to an uneducated mind. Okay? But some people like Mike are more verbally clear and they'll be like, the left hates you. No, the left doesn't hate white guys. The left just hates ideas that a lot of white guys think because they've existed in a place in society where they've not had to question oppression. They've not had to experience racism. They've not had to experience misogyny. So in the lack of additional education that you have to look for, it doesn't come to you, you are more likely than other demographics of individuals to hold very regressive, harmful beliefs, right? But if you don't hold those beliefs and you try to be a good person, you try to be an intellectual person that critically thinks and evaluates these issues, well, then all of a sudden, who does the left hate? Definitely not you, right? You're a good person, right? I mean, if the left hated me so much because I'm a white guy, I probably wouldn't have over 4,000 viewers on a YouTube live stream with a 95% left audience. I probably wouldn't have close to 3 million followers on TikTok. Probably wouldn't have been written about by the New York Times and been sent on a plane to the White House. So the claim that the left just hates white people is incredibly wrong.
Can I say something? Do you mind if...
No, because I want you to answer the question. You said I was paid for by the DNC. Please give me evidence.
Millions of brown and black people fight to live here every year, not to be oppressed. Not to be oppressed. The white oppression thing's a lie, buddy. Millions flock here every year to live with us, so we must not be oppressive. And they're earning more than we are.
Okay.
So we're not oppressive.
So first and foremost,
It's
I'm
white
just
hate.
going to
You
go ahead
spread
and just
hate.
respond
You
to
guys.
those false claims. So you said that millions of individuals that are not white immigrate to America, which must mean that America is not prejudiced or oppressive towards individuals in which are not white. No, that's not true at all. So the reason why individuals immigrate to America is because they believe that they'll have a higher quality of life. Okay? So you could relatively have a higher quality of life even though systems of oppression exist. And if anything, that makes it worse. Because these individuals are willing to give up everything they know. These individuals are willing to spend their last dollar to get into America. These individuals are willing, in some circumstances, to even break the law because of how bad the legal means of entry are into America, just to be met with a quality of life that is relatively higher than the one that they experienced at home, but they still are dealing with a president that's calling them all rapists, that's calling them all MS-13 gang members, right? Or even at the end of the day, I'm sure for a lot of these individuals, it's an incredibly low quality of life because of these systems of oppression that they didn't know exist before they got here. Anyway,
The numbers don't show they're
I
oppressed.
am
The
going to
numbers
go
show.
ahead. Actually, the numbers do show that non-white people in America have less opportunity than white people in America. This is evidently clear through average income, average net worth, as well as it's evidently clear through the disproportionate amount of white individuals in leadership positions across our country, rather that be the presidency, rather that be Congress, rather that be Fortune 500 company CEOs, rather that be in positions of power in American institutions, okay? But once again, you told me that I was paid by the DNC. I want you to tell me your evidence.
It's a predominantly white country, Dean. We're like white people don't owe this world anything. We don't owe people positions.
It's a predominantly white country insofar as over 50% of the people in America are white. I think it's like 53, right? But over 70% of Fortune 500 CEOs are white. So that's why I said disproportionately. Jesus Christ. Anyways,
We're allowed to start
I'm gonna
companies.
ask you a question. My question is, do you have any evidence that I'm paid for by the DNC?
We're allowed to be successful. We don't owe this world anything because we're.
You're crashing out, man. You made the claim that I was paid by the DNC. I'm once again just going to ask you for any evidence for that claim.
I can just tell I worked in politics for 20 years. You're paid, Mr.
Okay, so
White
you can
House
just tell,
invite.
so you don't have any evidence?
Dude, you're being paid. And
By
if
who?
you're not, you're just spineless.
So who
The
am I
left
being- who am
hates
I-
you, white man.
Okay.
The left doesn't even like.
Okay, well, I just kicked him. The reason why I just kicked him is because I unironically just spent 10 minutes proving to him that he was wrong. And then he just doesn't listen, and then he hits back with the same garbage. Like, oh my God. Yeah, honestly, I'd classify that as like near like Nazi propaganda. The left hates you, white man. Ooh, you better hate the left then. Wow. 2 sentences. All of a sudden, you hate progression. What's going on, Leo? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, sure. I support Trump.
All right. Paul, thank you so much for the $50 super chat over on YouTube saying bi-weekly DNC paycheck to buy the bots. Thank you so much for the love, Paul. Thank you so much. It means the world. Thank you so much, Mr. Paul. That is very, very kind of you. As well as Alan with a $100 super chat over on YouTube saying another leftist old white dude that loves you, brother. Alan, that is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the love, Alan. Everybody, please show some love to Alan down below in the chat. That is seriously so incredibly kind. At least 1,000 W's for Alan, as well as 200 W's for Rebecca. Rebecca says the bigots are out in bigly in numbers tonight. You might need another anxiety pin before the night is over. You're right. I might. Thank you for the love, Rebecca. Thank you for the love, everyone. Yeah, the guests tonight are pretty rough. My cortisol levels are to the moon, quite frankly. Leo.
Hey, do you want to know why I support Trump?
Yeah.
So basically, Kamala Harris believes the Earth is rounded. And I don't believe that.
Does Donald Trump think the
I
Earth is
believe the
round?
Earth is flat.
Does Donald Trump think the Earth is round?
No, Trump thinks the Earth is flat.
Really? Really, Leo? What? How do you know this? How do you know that Trump thinks the Earth is flat?
He told me
Leo, I know that you're a
on
troll.
Twitter.
Leo, I know that you're a troll, but the funny thing is you sound identical to the last
Yeah,
five
I'm a
guests I've
troll,
had on the
bro.
live.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Because he sounds just the same as the last 5 guests that have been on the live.